Everybody excited to get into the home stretch of the day, hopefully get out of here, stop looking at slides?
Just a little.
Awesome. I'm excited to be here. Eugene, you excited to be here?
I'm excited.
All right. I'm a little surprised they let us back up here after what happened last time.
It wasn't that bad. There wasn't that much property damage.
Yeah, we'll see what happens this time.
All right.
All right. I thought we took this out.
I thought it looked good.
It was not pretty, I promise you that.
Hashtag Spice Droids.
But to get serious, thank you for having us. We appreciate being part of the event and for everybody joining us for a couple of days. We know that's not easy, especially towards the end. My name is Ken Schutt. I'm responsible for strategy and partnerships as part of the Android enterprise business. And I've got Eugene.
Hey guys, I'm Eugene. I look after partner and customer engineering for Android Enterprise, and that is my aspirational Androidify.
Today we're excited to talk to you about some of our program futures as well as key initiatives and how folks can be involved. So as you probably gleaned from the last day or two, Android Enterprise Recommended is really going to be the core programmatic thrust for us in 2018. And while we may have started the program focused on knowledge workers, we have plans to expand the program to additional partner types over the course of the year. Today, I'd like to speak with you about some of the future plans for Android Enterprise Recommended. Who in the room has already launched a device and become part of the program for Android Enterprise Recommended? See a couple? All right, that's a start. Program's only 2.5 months old, and we're gaining momentum. When we launched this 2.5 months ago, we started with 7 partners and 21 devices. Today we're at 9 partners and 31 devices, which is great growth. But for those of you who are not part of the program, we currently allow for N and O-based devices to be submitted for validation. And with every major platform release, we actually refresh those requirements to ensure that we're able to expose some of the latest and greatest capabilities that are part of the program to the enterprise. So one thing we're doing is we're going to be refreshing those requirements for P. And I'm not going to get into a ton of detail here. I'd be happy to have all of those discussions. I'm just going to give a little bit of flavor of some of the things we're looking at. We hear everybody loud and clear, security top of mind. We believe that 100%. Some of the things we're going to be doing is we're going to be advancing things like file-based encryption to become required for devices that are going to be Android Enterprise Recommended to help give a better user experience. We're going to require verified boot to help give assurance that a device hasn't been compromised. And we're going to start talking about the importance of things like discrete secure elements and hardware-based security. It's not going to be required to start, but we think it's a really important discussion to have with our partners in the ecosystem because we think that's increasingly where the market is going. We're also spending some time talking to our partners about updates and things like vulnerability reward programs. So we've already instituted the requirement around 90-day security updates. We have a lot of partners that are actually doing 30-day security updates, which is an awesome move in the right direction. But we want to be able to ensure that high priority vulnerabilities that get discovered are also patched really quickly. So we're introducing the concept of emergency security maintenance releases. As part of this, we will ask OEMs to actually release patches 7 days after Google's made it available. And we're working with the carriers to ensure that they have something close to a 2-day TA on those patches. So we not only have OEMs releasing them and Google supporting it, but it's following the last mile out to the customer and those devices. And we're also asking OEMs to institute things like vulnerability rewards programs. This is similar to what Google does for Pixel, but we want to really step the bar up for enterprise and incent people to discover vulnerabilities, submit them to Google and our partners so we can remediate them really quickly. From a UX and UI perspective, P is actually going to give work profiles some new UX elements. We want to make sure that devices that are shipping with P for the enterprise maintain those so we can have consistency with that experience. I heard that on the panel we just listened, looking for consistency regardless of which OEM device. And we're also going to be prohibiting the presence of applications with install capabilities, aside from Google Play and EMMDPCs, in work profile and work managed devices, so we can avoid application bloat. And then Android Academy, we've had some sessions on that. We think it's really important that our partners know how to walk the talk that they're well-versed in Android Enterprise features and capabilities. So that education component is going to be something we spend time on as well. We're also planning to introduce an AER program focused on rugged devices. We talked about this a little bit in the keynote, and I talked about this in a session yesterday. Rugged devices have been used in the enterprise for a very long time, but we wanted to bring more consistency to the experience and also offer more ways for our partners in the rugged space to partner with Google from a go-to-market perspective. So a few areas we plan to focus on here. Drop test compliance. We want to ensure that rugged devices, consistently are able to, adhere to standards and withstand things like 4-foot concrete drop. Security updates. Rugged devices, in some cases, have much longer life cycles than a consumer or knowledge worker device. So we're actually working with our partners to be able to deliver 5 years of security updates on ruggedized devices. And zero touch. All devices that are Oreo and later will be required to support zero touch. This is critical to the rugged market since so many installations require bulk enrollment, and devices that are out in the field should actually be able to be replaced with minimum friction. We'll also be introducing Android Enterprise recommended for EMMs. Some of the areas that we will focus on from a requirements perspective here, we're looking at functionality enhancements. EMMs that are going to be Android Enterprise recommended should offer full solution set support. So that's work profile, COPE, work managed, COSU. We need to be able to, slides went down. We need to be able to ensure that those EMMs are not just focused on one thing, but offer a number of different solutions as opposed to just one in particular. Technical leadership. We also want to make sure that the EMMs that are part of the program are going to be leading with Android Enterprise. That is crucially important to us and the EMM program. We want to ensure that everybody is moving to the modern manageability paradigm. And then a proven ability to deploy. We want to make sure that a EMM partner that is going to be enterprise recommended has been there and done that, has gone through deployments, has handled migrations, and has a track record of managing devices. Another area we're currently building out is service providers. And service providers are going to look a little bit different from how we approach devices and some of the management capabilities. Service providers are going to focus more on their capabilities and readiness, the services that they can provide to the customer. We want to ensure that Android Enterprise recommended service providers have deep expertise and can offer expert guidance and support on things like mobile deployments and support to application developers. To achieve this, we're really going to spend a lot of time on the training and validation of that training with the service provider ecosystem. So we're going to ensure that those partners that are Android Enterprise recommended have a specific or have a level or a percentage of their staff that's actually gone through all of the Android Academy learning paths. We're going to make sure that people are nominating a percentage of their folks within each given region to go through some of the advanced courses and certifications. And then we're going to have a final exam. It's not just have you listened, it's have you comprehended and can you prove that you comprehend the content. And some of the areas we'll focus on there are service deployment and provisioning, mobile application management, legacy migration, root cause analysis and prevention. And there are additional partner types under development. The ones I just talked through are fairly fleshed out. Not all of them are final. So if you have questions or comments about any of those, please let me know. But we have a couple that are under development and we're actively working on. So we're working on a framework for carrier enterprise recommended. The primary focus there is going to be around things like zero touch enrollment, security freshness for devices that are out in the field, maintaining the enterprise experience on Android Enterprise devices, and training. We're also working on an Android Enterprise program for value-added resellers. The objective here is really to focus on zero-touch enrollment as well as device and service availability to really help us get leverage out in the field and out in the regions for folks that are trained and are able not just to deliver services but also devices and make those globally available from our OEM partners. And last but not least, we're thinking about AER for ISVs. These are more kind of packaged applications or application platforms. The objective here is really to help software vendors and application platform developers follow Android best practices for application development. The focus will be on security and interoperability with things like work profile. If you fall into any of these categories where we're very early in our thinking, but you're interested in learning more, please let us know. We'd be more than happy to talk to you about it, and we'd love to get feedback. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Eugene to talk about some of our key technical initiatives
Thank you,
for
Ken.
2018.
So first I wanted to say it was so nice to see you guys taking pictures of the slides because that means that you guys are really interested in the programs, which is awesome. Okay, great. So as you heard from Ken, we got a lot of stuff going on with Enterprise Recommended. But let's unpack that a little bit. What if you can't meet all of the requirements for Enterprise Recommended right away? There are still important things you can do to partner with us and to go big with Android in 2018. So I want to talk to you about 3 of those things. The first is device admin migration. The second is AE first. And the third is zero touch. We are laser focused on these 3 initiatives. So hopefully, you guys have seen this repeated in different sessions throughout the offsite. So first, let's get a show of hands. Who attended a session where we mentioned DA deprecation? Wow. Yeah, everybody. Right? That was nice. You didn't just see the hands. You heard people say, everybody. Great. So let's talk about what we can do about that today together. The first bit is we encourage you, we urge you to start talking to your customers about this today, right away. Don't wait. Second, we recommend working on migration solutions, product solutions, and EMMs. Just a little note here, let's not forget about the DA to PO use case, because in a lot of instances, that's an easier transition. So we should be thinking about that. And then third, we will be releasing a practical guide for you and your customers. Frank mentioned that probably, I think, yesterday, earlier on in the day, in a session with Sadie. So keep an eye out for that. Awesome. Next is AE First, which is focused on reorienting the ecosystem and our customer base to modern management. So first, when you talk to customers, we suggest leading with Android Enterprise. If you need refreshers, check out Android Academy. We're building a lot of great content there. Second, we recommend that you design your products with AE as default. I know that some of the folks in this room are already doing that, already considering that, so thank you. But if you can't do that because something's missing from the platform, and I know we've reached out to a lot of you folks about this, we want to know. So please tell us. If something is missing from the platform, if you don't have the API support you need, tell us as soon as possible. So third, when customers are planning new deployments, we ask that you help them plan with AE to future-proof them. If they are deploying on device admin today, eventually they're going to have to make that transition. So let's all plan ahead and help them to be future-proof. Okay, third. Last but not least is zero touch. This year we're expanding past just carriers. So we are expanding to VARs, to SIs, to distributors, and other partners. If you are interested, reach out to your partner managers. So all of our partner managers out there who I just guaranteed that they would get 20, 30 more emails. I'm sorry. After you're done, join our reseller community, where you can learn more about the product, where you can get support, and you can get integrated and validated. Third, and finally, many of you has told us how important it is to have a parent-child reseller bit of functionality in ZT. That is coming. It is very high on our list. That said, please don't wait for it. We have found that other resellers need time to integrate. You need time to acclimate. So please get started today on ZT. Okay, great. So in conclusion, we ask that you explore our programs and align with our initiatives. If you're interested in Enterprise Recommended or in any of these initiatives, talk to one, either your partner manager, two, your partner engineer, if you have one, or three, go to one of the communities and ask about it. And when I say communities, I mean the EMM community or the ZT community, and let us know. Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you guys so much for your time. Next, we are going to bring back Mike Burr to the stage with a customer panel on dedicated devices.